in the memory of our fallen heroes and heroines, unalived by the genociders from 1966, 67, 68, 69, 1970, up to date. May your memories be a blessing we will never forget. Before we proceed today, the 30th May 2025, let's observe 1 minute silence for our fallen heroes. Welcome once again. I want to share with you what happened to me a few days ago. You know, few days, I think about a month ago, Russia celebrated something like honoring their heroes in their land. And I followed everything they were doing. I ended up crying at the end because of what I saw. And that reminds me what my fathers passed through during the Biafran Civil War. Biafra is a nation in our heart and in our mind, and nothing can take it away from us. Nothing. The world knows that, and we knows that. And we cannot forget who we are. For if we do that, we are fooling ourselves. Bullets and guns cannot cause us to forget who we are. Hunger, thirsty of whatsoever, riches cannot take our identity away. Chukwemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, Ikemba Nnewi, rest in peace. My hero, Kaduna Nzogwu, rest in peace. Ikonso, rest in peace. And many more heroes and heroines in Biafra land who sacrificed their life for you and I to be able to see today. May your souls rest in peace. Biafra was a nation declared, a nation that was until 1914. And 1914 came, a man from UK actually visited West African and fell in love with what he saw. And he came down with his soldiers and conquered the land and named it Nigeria. 1960, Nigeria got an independence from European power. 1967, a new republic was born. The government declared war on Biafra, a country that is 1 day old. A war was declared upon her. She has to defend herself with all her strength, with all her knowledge. Biafra ended up going to that war with no weapon. Only weapon they used was the weapon of ideology. My brothers and my sisters was engaged. They went to war front. United Kingdom, United States, and Russia was behind Nigerian government. Biafra was left alone with countries that will never be forgotten, like Gabon, like Tanzania, like Haiti, like Ivory Coast, and many more other friends who see the more reasons to support Biafra. Israel was there for Biafra, but of course, you know, any cause that America is not supporting, Israel can never give her full strength to that cause, even though she will claim she's supporting it. But Israel is our best friend and our brothers. War was declared on Biafra, and the Biafra withstood the war for 3 years. How was the war won? And who won? Hunger won. Nobody won. It was only hunger that won the war. Nigerian government with support of her foreign allies, blocked all the Biafran borders, negotiated with Biafran neighbors, and blocked all the borders. And they have to use hunger against the newly born nation called Biafra. They starve young and old until they cannot breathe. They starved over 2 million people. Over 2 million people was unalived just because of hunger, not with gun and bullet nor bomb. All the buildings in Biafra territory was buried to ground. But today, the spirit of Biafra is still stronger than ever. Recently, the president of United States of America, Donald J. Trump, went to Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. And when he came back from Qatar, he told Americans something. And he said, "My fellow citizens, I went to Qatar, and the poorest man in Qatar is living like a billionaire in the United States of America. The poorest man in United Arab Emirates is living life like a billionaire in USA." He asked, why is it so? And that caused me to do a research. And I researched, what is the product that Qatar are producing and the United Arab Emirates are producing that make them so rich? At the end of that research, the result was that the only product they have is oil. And I asked myself, is it the same oil that is in abundance in that country called Nigeria, but there is nothing to show? But Nigeria has over 6 million out of school children, and almost half of the population cannot feed 2 square meals in a day. I asked myself, what is different between Nigeria, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia? The difference is ideology. But God blessed them in the same way. If Nigeria is more blessed, because there is no disaster in natural disaster in Nigeria. Every disaster in Nigeria is man-made disaster. But Nigerians cannot feed 2 square meals in a day. And I want to tell my fellow blacks perhaps this thing, especially Nigerians. I want you guys to understand something. To the fact that there was war in the country in the past is not enough reason for you guys to continue in hatred, in malice against one another. Every country in the world had past. UK, United Kingdom, is not a country made up of one people, but 3 kingdoms merged together. Before that happened, there was civil war among them. If you go to Canada, Canada history is full of war. Even up to date, Canada is a country where 3 people is living in one country, respectively honoring each other and respecting each other. There is French region, English region, and indigenous peoples region. In Canada today, there is a Canadian born and brought up in Canada that cannot speak English because he or she is speaking neither French nor indigenous language. How about America? There has been tragedy in almost the whole country in the world, but they have been able to manage their differences. But you, the little poor ones in the Nigerian state, allowed yourself to be used and manipulated by the political elite. In return, they will pay you back with hunger and insecurity. Hating an Igbo man for whatsoever reason, legitimately or illegitimately, pays you nothing, profit you nothing. Rather, it will cause you to go to be deeply in poverty. because a house that is divided among themselves will never prosper. Until there is equity, justice, and the uhuru to all, there will be no prosperity. As we remember our fallen heroes who sacrificed their life for us to see today, I want to use the same opportunity to pass a message to you that in continuation of hatred against a specific tribe, because your politicians tells you to do so, will pay you no good. I am not asking you to love me. I am only asking you to love yourself and know that God has given you everything you need to prosper as a nation. Biafrans, I want us to understand something. Our future is in our own hand. And in whatsoever you are doing, if you forget yourself, nobody will remember you. If you remember yourself, everybody will respect you. It is time to look back and know that however home is always the best. Let us go home. Let us go and rebuild our home.